I'm the gold, I'm a queen in my kingdom, I reign supreme. My dreams are my map, my story's my theme. And Chica and the family productions, where I am free.
Hey, my beautiful people. I was just coming on here today to check on you guys, and also to basically I wanted to share something with you guys. I wanted to go over growth during your pruning season, because I know some people may be going through some things. I know I personally had to go through that pruning process. I had to go through the fiery furnace, also had to go through the wilderness season. And I know that when you're in those type of situations, like you be having questions, asking like, why me, Lord, why I got to go through this or whatever. So yeah, today I just want to study with you guys, because I'm studying. I'm going to get more into studying the word. And also, I've been through these stages already. So I can, this is something that I can speak on because I've been through it. But also, I just want to give you all guys a word pertaining to growth during your pruning season. So with that being said, let's get started. So what is a pruning season based on the Bible? A pruning season refers to a time of hardship or suffering in a person's life, during which God is working to remove elements that hinder spiritual growth and fruit bearing. It can involve difficult situations, the loss of relationships or possessions, or the exposure of sin, but it's ultimately a process of growth and transformation. So God's role in the pruning process is God is depicted as a gardener who prunes the vine, and we as believers, we represent the vine. And so basically God prunes us, and he prunes us to produce more fruit. This pruning involves removing dead or unproductive branches and elements that hinder growth. And in John 15:1-8, it says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. Wow. So yeah, God wants us to be, he prunes us so that we can be made in his image and his likeness. We go through a lot of things in life, like a lot of different trials and tribulations. A lot of times, we say, oh, why am I going through this, or why am I going through that? And it's to basically so that we can grow from it, grow from the things that we go through. Not necessarily saying that you did something wrong or whatever. 9 times out of 10, if you have chosen, to follow God, you're always going to get some type of attack. That's just it. Like, it's no way around it. You cannot not have no attacks. So yeah. Also, the pruning process. In the pruning process, pruning can feel painful and difficult, as it involves facing our own flaws, losing things we value, or during hardship. However, it is necessary. It is a necessary part of the process of becoming more like Christ and bearing fruit. Now, signs of pruning. Indicators of being indicators of being in a pruning season include suffering loss, experiencing difficult circumstances, and being confronted with areas of sin or need for change. And fruit bearing. The ultimate goal of pruning is to enable believers to bear more fruit, which can be understood as living a life that reflects God's character and purpose. And that goes back to John 15:2, where it says, He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes. God promises to care for us and use our trials to make us more like Christ. He also promises to complete the good work He started in us. Now, in Psalms 146:6, it speaks about God always keeping His promises to us. Also in Isaiah 41:10, God strengthens and helps us. And in Philippians 4:19, it talks about God supplying all of our needs. And also the Psalms 80 and Isaiah 5, Ezekiel 17:19, those scriptures will also help you understand more the pruning process and how God expects us to, how He expects us to live and get through these pruning times. Yeah, so basically, like with me in my pruning process, I went through a lot, guys. Like, I mean, it seemed like I just went from one season to the next, like boom, coming out of one, went straight into another. And it's like, you don't know whether you're coming or you're going. But basically, like in my pruning process, I can remember a time when, and me and my daughter just talked about this the other day because she had an incident, and she just kept saying, like, she just pops off, like, she'll just get like angry all of a sudden, like anything could just piss her off, and she'll get angry and she want to just snap at people and stuff. And God he's pruning her, and she's like wondering, like, Lord, why am I so angry? Why am I just snapping on people left and right and stuff? So yeah, she's going through her pruning season right now. But when I went through my pruning season, I remember I had road rage so bad, man. Like every time I would go out and stuff, it seemed like I was always being tested. And living in Atlanta, when it was like traffic is so crazy, and of course you're going to expect a lot of things to happen because you're in a big city with a lot of traffic, and people would just like, and I had, at that time I lived in Union City, so, and during that time it was not as packed. Atlanta wasn't as packed as it is now, but it still was pretty busy. But Union City was not that bad. It wasn't bad at all. The traffic wasn't that bad at all. But I remember going to the store one day, and this had been after I had just like consistently, month after month, year after year, I'm just like snapping at people, yelling out the window, cursing people out, flicking them off, like talking about what I'm gonna do to them because they cut me off or whatever. So once God started dealing with me and He started pruning me, I'll never forget, we were at the store and I went to pull out into the traffic to get to the light. And all of a sudden, this car came out of the nowhere. Like it was maybe like a few inches from where my car was to where the light was, and the light was red. And this man just slammed it, like he just came out from the right side. I was already in the left lane, and he ran in front of me and hurried up and got in front of me at the light. Now, there's nobody else in front of him. Of course, we're at the red light. So technically, at the speed, a rate of speed that we both were going, I could have ran right into the back of him. And he just ran through the light and just kept going. But I was so irate, man. I was like calling him all kinds of names. Like I was just so irate. And then I thought about it, because before that incident happened, the Lord kept saying, like, you need to calm down. Like you have road rage. And I really didn't realize that that's what I had at the time, guys. I just know people got on my nerves. They was doing stupid stuff, acting like they don't know how to drive. And when that time came, like I said, prior to that incident, the Lord had already let me know that I had road rage. And then once that happened, I was like, okay, Lord, I hear you. You're saying that I have road rage and you want me to calm down, and you don't want me to react this way the next time something like this happens. So I basically start checking myself. Like whenever that happened, you can't change people, and you can't make somebody else drive the way that they're supposed to be driving. The only thing you can do is drive the way you're supposed to be driving and look out for your surroundings. But also, if somebody does that to you, you just have to take accountability and say, hey, I'm not going to do what they do. I'm just going to I'm going to let it go. I'm a woo-saw, because that's what I had to do 1,000,001 times. I had to woo-saw. I had to turn the other cheek. I had to act like it did not happen to me. It was like, it took a lot out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It took a lot for me to be disciplined to do that. So I'm just saying all of that to say that whatever you're going through in life, man, just keep pressing, keep pushing. Nobody's perfect. Don't give up. God is always going to be on your side, but you have to do your part as well. We can't keep doing things and then just not taking accountability. Always want to blame somebody else for what we've done, or even when things may have been done to you in your past and you still holding on to it, and you feel like, oh, I have a right to act this way because so-and-so did this to me and so-and-so did that to me. And that doesn't give you the right to be evil. That doesn't give you the right to be nasty to other people or do the same thing that was done to you. That doesn't give you a right at all. The only thing that it does is hinder your spirit. It hinders your growth. It hinders you from becoming the man or a woman that God has called you to be. It makes you, it keeps you in bondage to whatever negative thought or whatever negative feeling that you have. It keeps you in bondage. It keeps a stronghold on you. So you have to let that stuff go in order to move forward. You have to allow God to strengthen you, to cleanse you. And also, relationships, sometimes God might remove somebody out of your life, and you may be thinking like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do without this person? Because you've been with that person for so long. But at the end of the day, it's like everybody's not for you. And where God is trying to take you, everybody can't go. So, and you can't go yourself if you're not right. Like if you don't allow God to deal with you and take off the old and put on the new, then you're not even going to be able to go to your own promises. So you have to allow God to deal with you inwardly, and everything else on the outside is going to show. It's going to show for itself. When you have a good heart, when you do right by people, when you have empathy towards other people, when you take accountability, when you do your best, your 100, then God got you. He got the rest. Like he's going to help you through any and everything, every trial, every tribulation, anything that you ever go through in life. God is going to help you. He's going to help you come out of that situation. And at times when you think, and this goes back to the fiery furnace. I don't want to get too much into that because I am going to do another video on that. But basically, like when you feel that heat and you like, man, why? Oh my God, like the pain is crazy. Like you're like, oh my God, what is going on? Why I got to feel this pain? Why I got to go through this? But it's it's a part of your pruning process, and that's to cleanse you, to make you the new and improved you that God called you to be. To take out that toxicity, to remove those burdens and destroy those yokes and all the grudges that you've been holding on to, and just to heal you, Lord. I mean, just to give you God's grace and mercy. Like you have to open your heart up to receive that from God. And I know a lot of people, I don't even get into it because I know me, I know what I went through in life, and I know my relationship with God. I used to go to church all the time. I still watch my bishop I watch my bishop online, but I've been backed away from the church only because like it's just like people have started, like ministers, whatever, started getting into their flesh, preaching more out of they'll preach the word, but then they react more out of the flesh. And I'm like, what do I look like sitting up under you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. And then I still pressed on, and I still went to church and stuff, and I still, participated and stuff. But the thing was, when you start getting judgmental, like you've been so saved for so long and you're supposed to be so righteous and so this and that, and you looking down on other people, I don't rock with that at all. So I backed away from the church because my feelings are important too as well. And it's not just about somebody's feelings and your emotions, because I used to be a very emotional person. But it's also about, just being honest with yourself, being 100% who you are. And that means even if you trifling, even if you, whatever the case may be, God says to come as you are. So when I'm going to church, I'm expecting to come as I am, because I'm not perfect. So whatever I got in me, I'm expecting to go to church. I'm expecting to hear the word. I'm expecting the Holy Spirit to move in that ministry and that bishop, that pastor, whoever. And I'm expected to receive from that, feed off of that. And I'm expecting to not receive that and also to take it home and live it out in my everyday life. That's what I'm expecting. All the other extra stuff that don't mean nothing. Like, it does not mean nothing when it comes to God, so it's like, I don't, I don't knock the church, because I'm gonna tell you, being in church helped me get through a lot. When I tell you, when I was getting ready to go through my, when I went through my separation with my ex-husband, I was going through my divorce and stuff. I'd never been by myself, never been without a man. I thought I needed one so bad. Like, if I didn't have one, I was gonna die. That's literally what I thought. But God showed me otherwise. That church, being in church, helped me, because I was on a praise team for like 8 years. I had people that showed me love. And they was just like, just being busy with the church and things that I was doing, like, that helped me a whole lot. But like I said, eventually, over the years, I pressed through, because I know nobody's perfect, and the devil has his people in church too, but also majority of the people in the church is not like that. They're not devilish or anything. They come to church for the same thing that you do. But at the end of the day, it's like, when you start walking more in your flesh than in your spirit, then that's when I can't rock with that. But I am going to start going back to church, only because, in a corporate setting where you are able to worship with other people and stuff, it's just so powerful, and it's just so anointing, and that fellowship we do need, because we can't do everything by ourselves. We can do things by ourselves, but when you do it with somebody else, or you do it with the congregation or other people that's worshiping and praising the Lord and glorifying him and stuff, it's just more powerful. It's more intimate. And you see many, many, many people get delivered. And that's a blessing to me, because I love helping people, and I love seeing people be delivered and whatnot. So yeah, so eventually I will start going back to church once I get settled in my place where I'm destined to be, which I'm gonna be moving there soon. So yeah, once I get to Florida, which is where I'm going to be moving to. Once I get there and I find the church that I'm supposed to be in, eventually I'll start going back to church. But right now, I'm just at home. I praise the Lord all day, every day anyway, whether I'm at church, whether I'm not at church, or whatever, because that's just who I am, and that's the type of relationship that I have with God. So yeah, I basically just wanted to give you guys some encouragement, to let you know, like, you're not alone. It may feel like it sometimes. That's what we call the wilderness season. But again, I'll have a video talking about the wilderness season as well. But your pruning season, man, it is like God dealing with you personally, the inner you. He's trying to get those things, those toxic things out of you, those things that's not of God. He's trying to deliver you from that, cleanse you from that. And so that's what the pruning process is when he's trying to prune you, when he's trying to deliver you from your old ways and your old habits and things. So you go through that pruning process, and then in your fiery furnace, and during the time of the fiery furnace, it's like all this heat come on you. Like, you literally feel like you in an oven baking, and you like, oh my God, Lord, when is these blows gonna stop coming? It's like everything's starting to happen left and right. You getting attacked from here to there and everywhere. The pain is crazy. It's unbearable. And then when you go into your wilderness season, man, it's like you feel like you are alone. You feel by yourself. You like, Lord Jesus, God, I know you hear me. Where are you, Lord? Why, Lord? Are you gonna help me? When you gonna help me? How you gonna help me? Like, it's a lot that goes into it when you're going through these different seasons, and it is so that God can prepare you to be what he called you to be, where he called you to be, and do the things that he's called you to do, so you can walk in your purpose. So don't give up. Whatever you do, do not give up. You're gonna go through different stages in life, and you will know, because God gonna tell you before he tell anybody else. He's gonna tell you, and then you're gonna know what season that you're in. And the only thing I can say is stand steadfast, stay in your word, pray, worship the Lord. The devil don't like that. He don't like when you worship. I remember times when I cried. I prayed. I worship. I didn't care how. I rolled across the floor crying because pain was so unbearable when I was in my fire furnace season. So at the end of the day, like, however you got to get through this, just do it with the Lord. So yeah, basically that's it, you guys. In my next video, I'll be talking about the fiery furnace. And if it's anything that you all want me to talk about, you can just drop it in the comment section and let me know. But I hope this video helps some of you guys out. If it helps one person, that's a blessing. You know, I've done my job. But yeah, if you're going through your pruning season, don't give up. God got you. He got your back. And you are going to come out of it. Because one thing I can say, you go through things in life, and when you're in the midst of it, you don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say. You don't want to hear about, oh, I'll pray for you. You just want somebody to be there to basically pull you up out of that situation. But that's not the case. Like, it's not going to happen like that. You got to go through that process. The only person that can help you out is God, and he's going to allow you to go through that situation. He's going to allow you to go through that pain, that suffering. Why? Because it makes you a stronger person, a better person. So once you continue to press through, like I said, read your word, pray, talk to God, have your relationship with him, develop your relationship with him. If you already have one, great, keep it going. If you don't have one, start today. But that's how you're going to be able to get through your seasons. And also, like I said, the storm don't last always. It's going to be over eventually, you know. And when you don't listen and you think, oh, I'm just going to do this little bit, and then then you stop, and then you think you might pick it back up later, you only making yourself suffer longer. If it's something that God is dealing with you and he's trying to get out of you, and if you allow him to, and you let go of it, and you let God deal with you, and you just press through and go all the way through, then you're going through that season. You get through it like that. Like, you'll get through it. Like I said, the storm don't last always. But when you hard-headed, like I've been, oh my God, I suffered for years because of hard-headedness, because of what I want to do my own thing, because I'm walking in my flesh, because I think, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or I think I know how to get out of this situation, or I know this, or I know that. Just walking in my flesh, you know, and I couldn't do it. I kept going back. To me, it was like I'm going not backwards, but, well, yeah, kind of sort of backwards. It was like I would start at point A, and then I didn't want to go through the A, B, C, D, and all the way to Z. I wanted to jump from A to Z. So every time I did that, I always had to go back to the beginning and start at A, or you know, and I had to go through the process. I had to I had to go through the suffering process. And if once God delivered me out of a situation, you know, I might have had another obstacle or situation. And I always try to, like, I could hear the Lord giving me instructions, or telling me to do something, or even just putting it in my heart to do it. But I would always do the opposite, because I thought I knew better. I thought what I had and planned in my mind, that it was going to help me get out of my situation. But that wasn't the case. God wanted me to trust him, to let go and let God, because the things that I went through, it was something that I wasn't supposed to do on my own. I was supposed to, you know, go through it and walk through it and walk out of it in the hands of God. Like, allow him to deal with me, allow him to deliver me from those things. And he did. And I was able to bear basically everything that I went through. Even though in my mind I thought I wasn't able to bear, but I was able to get through it, and God helped me through it and stuff. So yeah, just don't be hard-headed. When God give you something to do, just do it. When he tell you, when you pray to him and you ask him for certain things. You know, be patient and wait on God. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to do things your way, because every time we do things our way, we always fall short. So yeah, that's basically it, you guys. I just want to give you guys encouragement. I love you guys. I thank you for watching my channel. You know, I'll be more active on my channel now that I'm just like coming out of my mess, because man, I'm telling you, when I was going through, I basically just cannot, you know, just trying to keep my own sanity, you know. So now I'm out of those seasons that I spoke about, the pruning season, the fiery furnace, the wilderness season, and now I'm just wanting to flow in my purpose and what God has called me to do. So yeah, I will be more active on my YouTube channel, and you guys just be patient with me, stick with me, and yeah, I love you guys. I hope you all have a blessed day. And I hope each and every one of you that is watching this video prosper in Jesus' name. I love you guys. Bye.
On the gold, I'm a queen in my kingdom, I reign supreme. My dreams are my map, my story's my theme. And Chica and the family productions, where I am free.